Clyde on the day before his birthday. Ron will turn 24 tomorrow.
All right, another Aries. Hey, when you mentioned to me KO was what, March 26th?
Right.
So Aries abound around the Knicks now.
So within 5 days, Kyle O'Quinn, Clyde, and Ron Baker all celebrating birthdays.
Also John Donahue, JD.
Right, Knicks security chief.
Yeah.
Had a recent birthday as well.
All the good guys.
That's right. Both the Knicks and the Heat coming off wins over Detroit. Shot clock winding down. Corner three. Richardson rebounded by Porzingis. Knicks beat the Pistons 109-95 on Monday. And then, as we saw, Whiteside with the last-second tip-in. Heat with the win in Detroit last night, 97-96. Porzingis backing in on Babbitt. The Knicks won the only prior beating Clyde, 114-103 back in mid-December over the Heat in Miami.
Yep, and obviously the Heat have come a long way. The Knicks have floundered.
The three attempt off the back of the rim from Rodney McGruder.
Looking at the Heat bench, Kenny, they seem to only have 9 players available tonight.
Heat with a number of injuries. Porzingis off the mark without Dion Waiters. No Justice Winslow. No Josh McRoberts. Of course, Miami without Chris Bosh. On the fade, Dragic gives Miami the 2-0 lead.
Dragic's their top gun, 20 a game. Swishing along the baseline.
For the Knicks, no Derrick Rose tonight. Still without Lance Thomas. Here's Porzingis taking it to Whiteside. It will be Knicks basketball.
Good job by Hernan Gomez. There's the bench, a sparse bench right there. You see only 4 guys available.
Head coach Eric Spoelstra in his 9th season with the Heat.
Can't believe it's 9 seasons for him already.
Ron Baker ties the game at 2.
Spoelstra, handpicked by Riley to guide this team. Obviously done an excellent job when they had the big 3 there.
He's been with the organization for 22 years, 9 as the head coach. Off the deflection by Baker, it's kept alive by Dragic.
Gotta remember he's a lefty. Take away that left hand, good job.
Here's McGruder, takes it inside. Again with the shot clock winding down, the Heat regain the lead.
McGruder, the neophyte, 6'5", good penetration that time into the paint.
The rookie out of Kansas State. Rodney McGruder was not drafted and has started 58 games for the Heat this season. Courtney Lee hits and the foul. McGruder commits the personal.
Just as we paid homage to the neophyte, Lee taking him to school. Ring the bell, school is in. The head fake always gets you in the air, and then the continuation. Twine time for Lee's at the line to shoot 1 as well. Lee's made 10 consecutive, 23 of his last 25 free throw attempts.
So Lee completes the 3-point play. Knicks take a 5-4 lead early first quarter over the Miami Heat here at the Garden. This is Babbitt. Back out for Goran Dragic. Babbitt from 3. Carmelo with the rebound.
Oh! Baker was not looking. Errant pass by Melo. That actually right in front of the Knick bench along the sideline. And the Heat will have it there. See Baker's turned his head at the wrong time.
There's Dragic across to McGruder. McGruder puts it up and hits.
2 consecutive hoops for the neophyte.
Coming off a 12-point performance last night against the Pistons. Hernan Gomez back out. Knicks with 2 rookies in the starting lineup, Hernan Gomez and Baker.
Miami digging in on the defense, denying the Knicks penetration.
Porzingis hits a 3.
Whiteside will not come out and contest the ball 23 feet away. That shot should be available tonight for KP.
Eric Spoelstra was asked about the Knicks prior to the game. He said, look, They had a pretty easy time, as Dragic puts it in. He said the Knicks had an easy time with Detroit on Monday. They took us right down to the wire last night. Same Pistons squad.
Yep, he knows the Knicks would be up for this one. The spoiler role is all the Knicks have left. Mathematically, they still have a chance. But very slim as the Heat will bring it up.
Gomez commits the personal, his first. The Heat started the season 11-30. Since then, they have gone 25-8, including a 13-game win streak.
Yeah, they've been on the rampage.
Ball knocked out of bounds by Courtney Lee.
He does a good job playing the passing lane, so the Heat will have it along the sideline.
32.
Heat without their third leading scorer, Dion Waiters, out of Syracuse. Due to a sprained left ankle, he is not on the trip.
Yeah, Waiters averaging 15 a game.
Here's Dragic, kept alive by Babbitt. And now Richardson hits a three.
Good job by Dragic keeping the ball alive. Richardson, the beneficiary from downtown.
Josh Richardson in his second season out of Tennessee. And now off the turnover, here come the Heat. Only one Knick back. Dragic dishing off to Richardson, and he lays it in.
Remember, Dragic kept the rebound alive, and Richardson scored a three ball. This time the steal by Dragic. Again, Richardson, the recipient.
A 7-0 Miami Heat run. And now the foul is committed by Magruder. Clyde, that's his second.
Let's take a look at Dragic. See, going from behind, a good job, shrewd, clever, slick. And then Richardson again running the floor to be rewarded with the easy layup. Richard Dragic leading them in dishing and swishing. 20 points and 6 assists.
Magruder sits down with the two personal fouls. James Johnson has checked in for Miami. Knicks will maintain possession.
Johnson has always been very aggressive guarding Melo. He's 6'8", Melo's 6'8".
Here's Baker driving, dishing off to Hernan Gomez for the lefty lay-in. So that puts an end to the 7-0 Miami Heat run. Knicks trail by 3. Here's Johnson, throws it back out. Richardson guarded by Lee. This is Babbitt. Babbitt with a 3.
Heat make 9 threes, 25 attempts per game.
They're 2 for 5 here tonight. As Baker dishes off, Courtney Lee, corner 3.
Unselfish play by KP. KP had the 3 ball. Lee had a shorter one from the corner, only 22 feet away.
Dragic off the mark. Midway through the first quarter from the Garden. Heat lead by 3 as Porzingis hits the floor hard. He was looking for the foul. Now Porzingis puts it up, and this time he is fouled and will head to the free throw line.
There you see KP complaining. Let's take a look at what happened. You could hear the flop when he hit the court. 7'3", 240. Oh, Babbitt just shoved him to the floor. KP will be shooting 2 when we return.
Gentlemen, please give a warm Madison Square Garden salute to these outstanding.
First quarter from the Garden. Heat lead the Knicks by 3. Don't miss out on a seat next season. Secure priority access to a Knicks ticket plan of your choice with a $250 non-refundable per-seat deposit. Call 877-NYK-DUNK or visit Knicks.com for details. Let's check in with Rebecca.
Well, hey, Kenny, the Knicks are honoring Sasha Botero of Renaissance Charter School in Jackson Heights and Kyle Jefferson of Robert Frost Middle School in Deer Park as the 2017 Dave DeBuscher Award recipients. Now, both students excel in the classroom and on the basketball court and in the community as well. They were honored moments ago on the floor, and they are joining me now. Welcome down in the sideline, everybody. Hi, guys. Congratulations. Welcome. So tell me what you're excited about in terms of winning this award.
Well, I'm very honored for winning this award. It feels like all my hard work paid off. And yeah, I'm really honored.
And so what gets you excited about coming to a Knicks game? I know you're a big basketball fan.
I've been a Knicks fan since day one.
Well, we are lucky to have you here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Sasha, I know that this award is in honor of somebody very special to you.
It was my godfather named Hernan, and he got shot 2 months ago. And basketball means everything to me, and I just really wanted to contribute to him, and I love him a lot.
Well, it's very kind of you to dedicate your award to him, and congratulations. Keep up all the hard work in the classroom. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm a big fan of the Knicks, and
love hearing that, guys. Go Knicks.
All right, thanks, Rebecca. Great stuff. Congratulations to Sasha and Kyle. Kyle says he's been a Knicks fan since day one.
Yeah, I heard that. I like when he says all of my hard work. I think when I was that young, I wouldn't know about hard work, Kitty.
And great to see Peter and Dennis DeBuscher on the court.
Yeah, so many memories seeing his son, so reminiscent of their dad, the late, the great Dave DeBuscher. Back door.
Ronald Gomez was looking for his good buddy, Kristaps Porzingis.
Too high and awry on that pass.
Willie Reed, the former Net, has checked into the game for the Heat.
You have no relation to Willis Reed.
Corner three, in and out from Richardson.
Game without pace thus far. Kind of erratic action right now. Mellow, silent night thus far.
Here's Baker, takes it inside, up with the left hand. Rebounded by Babbitt.
Dragic has been busy.
In and out, Porzingis with the rebound. Quiet start for Anthony Clyde and a quiet start for Whiteside. No points, 1 rebound. Here's Carmelo. Knicks keep it alive.
Heat, a very good defensive team now. Keeping the Knicks out of the paint.
Here's Courtney Lee on the runner.
Both teams wishing they were switching. Johnson wheeling.
Well, the Knicks honoring the 83-84 squad. There's Coach Hubie Brown on the left, along with Darrell Walker, who later became a Knicks assistant coach.
Yeah, and he coached a few teams in the league, did Darrell.
Toronto.
Straight out of Arkansas. His forte was defense. It's the hound and pound on the D. Hubie, of course, one of the greats. And one of our colleagues now in the booth.
And his son Brendan, one of our colleagues, the Knicks radio analyst, along with Mike Crispino.
Yeah, Brendan told me if his dad was going to be here tonight. Happy to see Hubie. Cartwright, Mr. Bill.
And Mike Saunders on the left to Bill's right, the longtime Knicks trainer.
Bill is in pretty good shape, man. He hasn't gained too much weight. Bill was an assistant coach for a while.
Won 3 championships as a player in Chicago.
Yeah, Bill and Oakley. That's how we got Oakley from Chicago. Bill going there.
Bernard King on hand tonight. Rory Sparrow. Here comes Richardson.
That's Richardson's forte. A very good, sagacious defensive player coming up with the steal. Sparrow's in the front office, isn't he? With the NBA? Yeah.
He's worked for the league for a long time. Vice President of Player Development.
Where's the travel? There's Rory. Remember Rory as the point guard out of Villanova.
And Patterson, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Hernan Gomez was called for the offensive foul. It's his second.
Should have been traveling.
So the Heat with a 6-point lead.
Crowd in a hostile mood with that call.
This is Tyler Johnson, who just checked in for Miami. Kuzminskis got a piece of it. The Heat called timeout. There's Mr. Bill. They lead by 6.
Tonight, the Knicks are honoring the team from 1983-84. Bill Cartwright was the main man. Rory Sparrow ran the show, and they rolled off 47 wins under head coach Hubie Brown. And then there was Bernard King. All he did in the 12 playoff games that year is average 35 points. Bill Cartwright averaged 20. If ever there was a great nickname and an appropriate one, it was Truck Robinson. And Ray Williams was about as smooth as it gets, and joined back there by Rory Sparrow. But the Knicks also had a deep bench. There you could find Louis Orr and Darrell Walker here tonight. The ace from 3, Trent Tucker, future executive Ernie Grunfeld, and the human eraser, Bernard King, helped the Knicks beat the Detroit Pistons, and then they dropped a 7-game series to the dreaded Boston Celtics. And that's your 1983-84 Knicks. Back to Kenny and Clyde.
All right, thanks, Al. And we were in Detroit a couple of weeks ago, Clyde, and we talked about that Pistons series, in particular the Game 5 win by the Knicks, as James Johnson extends the Miami lead to 8. Bernard King and Isaiah Thomas back and forth. That game was played at Joe Louis Arena due to a conflict at the Pontiac Silverdome, one of the more memorable playoff games in Knick history.
Yeah, prolific scoring by those two guys, Isaiah and Bernard.
Bernard set an NBA record for a 5-game series with 213 points against the Pistons.
Yeah, he was prolific, man. That baseline jumper was invincible.
And we will chat with Hubie Brown during the second quarter. Porzingis was looking for the cutting Jason Randall. Knicks with Porzingis, Kuzminskis, Randall, O'Quinn, and Holiday on the floor. 3 on the shot clock as Kuzminskis gets it into Randall. Here's O'Quinn from 3. And it's a 24-second shot clock violation. O'Quinn's attempt did not hit the rim.
That's the pressure that the Heat is putting on the Knicks now. Good defense. They've come up with 3 or 4 steals. And so the Knicks have to get better continuity on the offense.
Wayne Ellington has checked in for the Heat. Richardson, Reed, Ellington, and the 2 Johnsons, Tyler and James, on the court for Miami. This is Ellington, way off the mark.
Yeah, not a good shot. Right into the game, not getting into the flow, but that shot indicative of both teams misfiring on the offense. Very trigger happy right now.
Knicks have not scored in over 3 minutes. They trail the Heat by 8. Here's Holiday, Justin Holiday.
Holiday's had a knack for making big hoops and giving the Knicks momentum now.
6-point Miami lead. This is James Johnson. O'Quinn with the rebound. Knicks without Derrick Rose, in case you joined us late due to a sore left knee. No Lance Thomas for the 4th consecutive game. Here's Jason Randall. And it's a 44% first quarter for the Knicks.
Looked like that was contact on that shot. No foul call. The officials letting them play. That has behooved the Heat because they've been the aggressors thus far.
There have been only 6 fouls called here in the first quarter.
Good transition D to get back.
Holiday able to hit.
Yeah, good push by Randall to find Holiday. Holiday's made his last 2 shots.
Randall with his 2nd assist. Final minute, first quarter from the Garden.
Only 5 fouls combined for the teams.
Here's James Johnson. Porzingis altered that shot.
Yeah, good job by KP.
Here's Randall driving on Tyler Johnson. Kuzminskis with a couple of opportunities. He taps it in.
And the Knicks are looking for more tenacity from Kuz, as well as KC and Hernan Gomez. So good job by Kuz that time.
Kuz came over, wished you a happy birthday just prior to the start of the game tonight.
Right.
And as usual, he was smiling.
He was smiling all the way. I think he'd heard I've been giving kudos for the other Kuz, Bob Cousy.
That must be it.
Yeah, he made a no-look pass the other night.
Time winding down, and that will do it. So after they'll put 2.6 back on the clock. It's a 24-second shot clock violation.
Both teams inept on the offense. No spontaneity, no continuity as the Knicks have it.
Kuzminskis looking for Porzingis, broken up by James Johnson. And the first quarter comes to an end. So after the Heat, led by as many as 8, the Knicks battle their way back. There's Hubie Brown and some of his 83-84 Knicks.
Tonight's anniversary night presented by Chase. We honor the 1983-84 team that captured the imagination of the basketball world with their thrilling playoff run against Detroit. How about a big Madison Square Garden round of applause for the team that thrilled the city, the 1984 Knickerbockers.
The 83-84 Knicks. Head coach Hubie Brown. Bill Cartwright coming over to say hello to Clyde. There's Bernard King. Rory Sparrow.
Bernard was Melo's idol growing up. Melo idolized Bernard. Developed the game like King as well along that baseline. One-on-one move. Bernard, of course, straight out of Brooklyn.
Always great to see those guys back at the Garden.
Yeah, the reunions are always energizing. And they get a free jacket, Kenny. They also get that jacket that they had on.
How many of those do you have?
I have at least 6 or 7.
O'Quinn with the pass inside for Holiday.
Holiday, 3 consecutive hoops. Getting the Knicks back into the game. We often say O'Quinn is underrated as a passer. So makes some very good passes at times.
The Knicks have scored the last 8 points after falling behind 24-16.
And look at the Knicks defense now.
Here's Ellington in and out. Taken away from O'Quinn. So a new 24 for the Heat.
Good hustle by Johnson.
This is James Johnson, takes it inside.
Vexing Knick defense. Should give it to Holiday. He has the hot hand.
He has scored 6 of the 8 during this Knick run. Ron Baker from 3.
Oh,
James Johnson
he won't be
lost
able
the
to
handle.
save that one.
Nope. Rockets could not save it. So it will be Knicks basketball.
Yeah, Johnson had a misstep. Lost his balance right in front of Celebrity Row. Well, now they say over by the Knick bench along the baseline.
Baker gets it into Kuzminskis.
Both teams doing a good job contesting shots.
Kuzminskis, long 3.
Sloppy action now. The Pistons have an excuse. They played last night. The Knicks were resting.
Heat with the last second win over Detroit.
I'm sorry, yeah. They beat the Pistons.
Here's Dragic over O'Quinn off the back of the rim.
Dragic was hot early on. Had 8 points in 6 minutes.
Kuzminskis fires another 3. Kept alive by Randall for Kuzminskis, who puts the Knicks on top.
You like to see guards getting those deep rebounds. Good job by Randall that time.
10 straight points for the Knicks.
Yeah, Randall 3 assists now, doing a good job finding the open man.
A 3 off the mark from Ellington, so the Heat have gone cold.
Yeah, Ellington missed his last 3 shots. At least he's hitting the rim now. First shot was an air ball.
Kuzminski spinning on James Johnson, and Johnson got a piece of it. Knicks wanted a goaltend.
Yeah, good recovery by Johnson.
Now Tyler Johnson is fouled by Randall. That's his first.
Let's take a look at Kuz wheeling and dealing. And Johnson's 6'8". Oh, looked like it's hard to tell.
Heat have missed their last 9 from the field. And that streak comes to an end. Tyler Johnson with the 3.
Yeah, swishing right in front of the Heat bench.
So after the Knicks scored 10 in a row, the Heat finally connect. Kuzminski gets stripped underneath.
Again, Johnson there bedeviling him.
Here's Dragic. Takes it all the way. No good. Randall the rebound. Dragic thought he was fouled. Here's Holiday dishing off to O'Quinn. Kyle O'Quinn puts the Knicks back on top.
A rare transition hoop by the Knicks. So Holiday had been scoring this time, helping O'Quinn to get on the board.
Just over 3 minutes gone by. Second quarter on Clyde's birthday. Knicks with a 1-point lead. Dragic back out.
The way they're playing, Kenny, I think I could suit up. Have an impact out there tonight.
James Johnson hits a 3. Maybe Hubie will put you in the game.
3-ball propelling the Heat now right in front of their bench. Before it was TJ. This time the other Johnson with the swish.
Here's Randall from 3. You talk about the 2 Johnsons, Clyde. Neither of them has started a game this season, but they have combined to average 26 points per game as O'Quinn knocks it away from Whiteside.
Yeah.
There's Hubie Brown, head coach of the 83-84 Knicks, who will join us momentarily. Back at Madison Square Garden, Kenny Albert, Walt Clyde Frazier. There's Hubie Brown back in the early 80s, coaching the Knicks, the 83-84 squad. Honored here at the Garden tonight. As Hubie joins us courtside. You don't look a day older.
Don't I wish? Life was good. We had a good group of guys in 83 and 84. And in 83, we lost in the second round to Philadelphia. They won it. 84, we lost in 7 games to the Celtics. They won it in the second round. And then over that summer, we lost Bill Cartwright, stress fractures. Marvin Webster never played another game in the league, medical. And then we lost Chuck Robinson. So we lost our 2 centers and a power forward. So it was, everybody knows, well, how come 85? Well, unfortunately, Bernard King went down with ACL at that time.
We had a look at the celebration following the Detroit series, and we mentioned as Tyler Johnson hits another 3. That was one of the most memorable playoff games in Knick history. What are your biggest memories from that one?
Well, that game, when they would play during the summer in that, the NBA stakes, they would always have that as one of the top 10 games. No doubt about it. Bernard King was sensational. He had a temperature of over 101, and then he had 44 points. But more important, he had a stress fracture in his middle hand and in his right hand and left hand. And he still was able to do the numbers that he did.
Wow.
It was fantastic.
So you also had Cartwright, Chuck Robinson.
Well, the front line, I thought that was our strength because all 3 guys averaged. Cartwright 17, Truck 15, Bernard 28 to 30. His last year 32. Well, they all shot over 55%. You know, like today, that's like unheard of, right? Well, as we know, the guys are scoring all these points. They shoot 42 and 43%. They take 25, 30 shots. If Bernard King shot 30 shots a game, he would be off the map. Because the one thing he did in that series, 12 games, he ended up shooting over 55%. In the Detroit 5 games, he shot over 60% and made over 40 points in 3 to 4 games. So it was a good group of people, and they played well together.
Speaking of shots, Hubie, what do you think of the three ball, how it's changed the game now?
Well, to me, the three-point line ruined the game of basketball. Well, we're from the old school of IQ and set plays and the beauty of the game, and you couldn't play the game if you had a low basketball IQ. Today, pick and roll, pick and pop, come down on the fast break, shoot a three, and that's basketball today. How many teams do you and I know now that actually can execute a half-court play under pressure and then have more than two options? They don't have 3 and 4 options like the old days.
How much fun has it been, Hubie, getting together with some of your former players tonight?
Oh, well, this was great. And unfortunately for us, Ray Williams, who was a starting 2-guard, and Marvin Webster have passed away. Truck Robinson is under medical care right now, and he can't travel, and that's a tragedy because you would love to have seen those guys here. Ernie Grunfeld and Louis Orr, you know, they're coaching, so I mean, they're involved with teams, so they couldn't make it. But it was a special group of people, and also Trent Tucker was in that group. So we had 10 guys. You know, the second group, Preston Trapp, and we rotated 10 guys. It was a lot of fun. But that one summer, just wiped us out completely.
I was talking to this guy named Brendan, Hubie. He told me if you become too loquacious to pull the plug on you.
Well, a timeout. Hubie is nice enough to tell us that he's going to stay with us for the next segment with the Knicks and Heat tied at 35 here at the Garden.
To Garden royalty from the world's most famous.
Knicks and Heat tied at 35 here at the Garden. As we check out the Knicks radio booth. On the right, there's Brendan Brown, chip off the old block.
Well, I can't say enough for John Andrews, because John Andrews broke Brendan in. As you know, when John was sick, Brendan did the road games. John still did the home games. And we love John Andrews, not just for what he had done as a Knick, but as a Fordham guy, a New York City guy. But he helped Brendan tremendously, and we owe him a lot. We just lost a really heavy hitter out of the city in basketball.
Absolutely. And Brendan does a terrific job. Clyde and I have the opportunity to travel with him and spend time with Brendan on the road. Off the steal, here comes Richardson. And you're keeping busy. You have a couple of games coming up, right? Friday, Sunday?
Well, Friday night we have San Antonio at Oklahoma City, which is a big game for both teams. And then Sunday on ABC, we have Utah at San Antonio. Both teams need those games. So it's a nice weekend. If you have to do games, you know, 2 games, you want to do games that really are counting.
We just saw your old teammate and roommate, Frank Layden, out in Utah when the Knicks played the Jazz last week and honored the '97 Utah Jazz squad, including Jeff Hornacek.
Well, that was some team. That was a great team. And I always kid people. I say, when John Stockton came in the league, how many years did he sit? Oh, he never sat on the bench. And 2.5 years, Walt, as you know, he sat on the bench behind Ricky Green. They moved Ricky Green, and then John Stockton's career took off. They always forget who sat on the bench and then developed their game and then blossomed into one of the all-time greats.
You're talking about the Spurs. Like, when I think of them, I think of the controversy now over resting players, right, recovery days. So what's your opinion on that?
Well, I was against it the first time they did it, and I was happy that the league fined them $250,000. But since then, no one else has been fined. That first year there were 17 games. Now all of a sudden it's up over 150. We've abused it. We've embarrassed the league. We've embarrassed the fan who puts out all of this money, comes to the game, and especially television that's coming with $2.8 billion on 2 straight Saturday nights. They sabotage the game by sitting out people. Whoa, wait a second. The Golden Goose is what's creating all of the money for these fabulous contracts, and that's called television.
Right. Now, I'm often asked what Holtzman would say if I wanted a recovery.
Well, you know you couldn't bring that subject up, and especially if you were playing first against second, all right? You know everybody would be thriving to play in that kind of. Today, guys don't even play in the game. I mean, it's very embarrassing and very sad for the game, and I think that the commissioner's office has a very difficult time here trying to straighten this out with the Players Association, and most of all with television that's putting up all this money.
And it sounds like Adam Silver and the league, they are taking steps
Well, they have to. They have to. You know, you hate it when you see a guy at the game, and it's a big game, and they show a man with a sign. You know, I brought 4 tickets, $880, and where are, and then they list the players on these signs. I mean, that.
Now, speaking about superstar players, what was it like in Milwaukee when you were an assistant coach with Kareem and Oscar Robertson and some of those guys?
He knows that group. Come on now.
Yeah. My nemesis was Flynn Robinson.
That's right. Walt, one of the greatest games of all time right here. We had you guys by 15, and if you remember, you made that run and outscored us 17 to zip. Earl made 2 foul shots to win the game. We did not score during that period of time. And we had Kareem, we had Oscar, Bobby Danridge, Lucius Allen, and that crew. But you guys, you know, you were still terrific at that time. That was like 73.
The next night you beat us by 40. Milwaukee.
And you coughed that up on TV?
Porzingis hits the floor hard once again.
Well, I learned a lot of basketball in Milwaukee from Oscar Robertson at the end. As you know, Walt, that was his last 2 years, 73 and 74. And then Kareem wins the MVP 3 out of the first 4 years and loses by a couple of votes the other year to Dave Cowens when Boston won it.
Oh, yeah. I think he's a very underrated player, Kareem.
Walt, as we know, not only could he score, but he anchored the defense and did all of the rotations and didn't worry about whether his man was going to dunk. I mean, we couldn't have run all those half-court things without Kareem in the back covering for everybody at that time. Now, offensively, I'll never forget the huddles. Larry would go into the huddle and he'd say, okay, this is the last shot. Kareem, what do you want? Larry, whatever you want. Kareem, you know, Larry, whatever you want. I mean, it was just great.
Yeah, you have to wonder what records he'd have if he had Wilt's mentality.
Now, Hubie, you've seen a number of Knicks games over the last 2 years. What are your thoughts on Kristaps Porzingis?
Outstanding athletic talent. Have not seen a 7'3" guy as athletic as he is, who can shoot the ball from the distance that he shoots. Now, he's got the 3-ball game. He's got the mid-range game. He's average off the dribble, but remember now, he's starting and he's getting major minutes. But what I'd like to see him do now over this summer is that they work with him with a game where he shoots into the post with his back to the basket, where he becomes a threat that gets the double team. Right now you don't have to double team him. One guy can play him because he lacks lower body strength. And we all know in the legs, Walt, when you're in the post, you got to have the legs or you can't hold your spot. So to me, the talent, unlimited future for this guy. But will the work ethic be there? Will he do it year after year? Will he take the pounding? Will he do all the sacrifices? I think up until now, everything he says is the right thing. And then he also is not afraid to take a big shot, which is good. So the talent base is there. I think his attitude is outstanding. Now it's going to come down to how he grows his game. He can't stop right now.
What do you think of the controversy we have here with the triangle?
Walt, as we all know, that we're only as good as the coaching staff getting you high percentage shots in your best areas, the 3 best shooters. You know and I know Red would get you and Willis and Dave or whatever, the high percentage shots in your areas, you know. And that to me for a coach is the most important thing, and it can be any system. But are they getting that here out of the triangle? That's questionable. And you know what I said? They've lost 9 games. They're tied with Charlotte by 3 or less. How are they closing in the last 3 minutes? Is it one guy, or do you have continuity where other people might be able to score off the double team? When the double team comes, what happens?
All right, stick around at halftime for more from the James Brown Band on the JBL Soundstage.
Played second quarter from the Garden with the Heat leading the Knicks by 2. Be a part of the action right here at MSG. Great seats still available for the games against the Celtics April 2nd and the Bulls on April 4th, but they're going fast. Score your seat today at Knicks.com, your official site for Knicks tickets. Clyde, our Cadillac trivia question. And we shall point out that you averaged 19.3 during your Knicks career. Who are the 5 Knicks to average at least 20 points per game during their Knicks careers? That's Hassan Whiteside. And those are his first points of the night.
And what about Melo? Melo has zilch.
He has attempted 1 shot. Has not scored. Whiteside with 2 points, 3 rebounds.
Melo looking to post up now to steal. Dragic has been a thief tonight.
Now Dragic picks up the dribble.
Turned down the shot. He was open.
Here's Tyler Johnson. 7 on the 24 for Miami. Richardson puts it up over Lee and hits.
Good D by Lee, but in vain. Nice shot by Richardson.
Heat lead by 6, 44-38. Randall dishing off. Good ball movement by the Knicks. Here is Baker from 3. Whiteside with the rebound. First of a home and home. Knicks and Heat in Miami on Friday as the Heat turn it over.
Just a careless pass by Johnson. Trying to pass it with his left hand. Threw it into oblivion. So he'll take a seat. The Knicks will bring it up.
Knicks with Hernan Gomez, Baker, Lee, Anthony, and Porzingis on the floor. Knicks with their starting 5. Both teams shooting 41%. Heat with a 6-point advantage. Shot clock is at 5.
See shot selection. Bad shot by KP. All off balance. Never squared up to the hoop.
Tyler Johnson looking to draw the foul. Johnson now with 8 points and the Heat lead by 8.
Melo not looking to get a shot up. See what he's got now. Still looking to pass.
Now Carmelo shoots from 3. Now you mentioned Bernard King was his idol. UB Brown mentioning to us that Bernard sometimes would take 30 shots a game.
Right.
Carmelo has attempted only 2 in 13 minutes. Here's Whiteside.
Oh. This is how we start the game. Both teams misfiring.
Hernan Gomez. It is good, and the foul.
Whiteside, the culprit. He's among the leaders in blocking shots, Whiteside. 7 foot. Hernan Gomez 6'10". And there's the foul as he's falling down. So Hernan Gomez trying to complete the old-fashioned 3-point play.
You may have noticed the tape on Whiteside's right hand. He's been playing with 13 stitches.
Yeah, that's why he tipped that ball in last night with his left, the game-winning shot. Hasn't stopped him from bounding and astounding, folks, as he lead the league in rebounds, averaging 14 a game.
Our Super Slow-Mo was brought to you by Sprite. Heat used a timeout with 16.8 seconds remaining in the first half. They lead the Knicks by 5. Lexus is teaming up with the Garden of Dreams Foundation again to raffle off a new Lexus NXF Sport. To purchase your $50 ticket, visit gardenofdreamsfoundation.org/Lexus. All net proceeds benefit the Garden of Dreams Foundation. Speaking of Garden of Dreams, Clyde, what a night last night as our own Jill Martin was honored at the Garden of Laughs comedy show at the theater at MSG. All of us at MSG Networks know how important the Garden of Dreams Foundation is to Jill, how many children she meets, mentors, and befriends. Last night, and we were both on hand, Clyde, she received the Garden of Dreams Hero Award for outstanding work with the foundation. The Garden of Laughs raised more than $2 million last night thanks to MC Steve Sharippa and an all-star lineup of comedians: Leslie Jones, Tracy Morgan, Sebastian Maniscalco, John Oliver, Bob Saget, Chris Rock, and Jerry Seinfeld. Congratulations to Jill. All of your colleagues at MSG Networks are very proud of you.
Yeah, she gave a wonderful speech as well to the kids. Brought tears to my eyes.
She sure did, and you were one of the presenters, along with John Starks, Adam Graves, Susan Sarandon, Matt Lauer, Katie Couric.
Yeah, you saw Whoopi Goldberg standing up there with Jill and
right.
the kids.
Here's Dragic dishing off, 5 seconds remaining, as Richardson hits a three. Down to 2 seconds. Here's Baker. And that will do it for the first half. Here at Madison Square Garden, the Miami Heat in the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference, leading the Knicks 49-41. Stay tuned for the Welcome back to New York Knicks basketball, presented by Chase. We get set for the third quarter from Madison Square Garden. Heat leading the Knicks 49-41. Halftime stats brought to you by Optimum. Heat shot 44%. They were 7 of 14 from downtown. Knicks with only 1 steal. They turned the ball over 10 times.
Kenny, the most illuminating stat, Melo. In 13 minutes, no points, 2 shot attempts. Still can't get on the books. Another try.
Carmelo from 3, and there's his first field goal.
And there it is. We talked him up.
So only 2 shot attempts in the first half, 2 there, and he hits the 3.
Yeah, 2 in the first 3 seconds of the game.
And then you have Whiteside, who has scored only 2 points, has grabbed 5 rebounds.
That's a violation, backcourt violation. Whiteside trying to run it down to no avail.
Miami in the 8th spot in the East after starting the season 11-30. 3 teams have made it to the playoffs after they were 19 games under the 500 mark at one point during the season. All 3 back in the 80s. The last to do it, the 87-88 Spurs. 19 under 500, made it to the postseason.
And there's the catalyst. There's the coach.
They're a game behind Indiana. Pacers in 7th place. 2 behind both Atlanta and Milwaukee. And it will be the Knicks and the Heat again this Friday in Miami. Carmelo backing in on Magruder.
Magruder doing a good job staying on his feet.
Whiteside with the rebound is 6th. Whiteside has 51 double-doubles this season. As Dragic dishes off to Whiteside, it's good, and the foul.
That's terrible defense by the Knicks. Just watch the Knicks not use their hands right here. Hernan Gomez, watch this. Where's your hands? Right there, never saw the pass, just standing there looking. Allowing Whiteside to go to the hoop, and he's at the line to shoot 1.
Only a 62% free throw shooter. He spent his junior year of high school in Newark, New Jersey at East Side High School. That's not the same school that Rory Sparrow attended. He attended East Side High School in Patterson, New Jersey. Not too far from Newark.
Yeah, Whiteside had trouble off the court for a while before gaining his confidence.
And then he moved back to North Carolina. Carmelo with his 2nd field goal. So the Knicks hanging in there, trailing the Heat by 6. Dragic looking for Whiteside, and Whiteside slams it down.
See the Knicks switch, and the mismatch was inside. Baker 6'5" on Whiteside, who's 7 foot. No contest.
Heat back up by 8. 2 minutes in, 3rd quarter from the Garden. Here's Porzingis, strong move to the hoop, and he will head to the free throw line.
Good slicing inside by KP. Showing good strength that time. Hubie Brown was mentioning how you got to have the leg strength to be strong in the paint area. So there's a good job right there. Misfired on the shot, but at the line to shoot 2.
Magruder committing his 3rd. Porzingis hits the 1st. Take the Knicks with you wherever you are with MSG Go. And now you can also watch live Rangers, Devils, and Islanders games. All on MSG Go. Download now at the App Store or Google Play. Porzingis hits 1 of 2. The Miami lead is 7.
Dragic scored 6 points all in the first quarter. But now he finds the range from downtown.
Dragic had his best season offensively back in 13-14 in Phoenix when he played for head coach Jeff Hornacek with the Suns.
Yeah, he was magnificent that season. Then signed with the Heat and struggled for a while.
And speaking of Jeff Hornacek, he has been called for a technical foul.
That will be his 6th technical of the season for Jeff. He's still irate. Now that is an aberration there right there, folks. We've rarely seen that this season from the coach.
That's 6 more than you were ever called for in your career, Clyde.
That's right, Kenny. If I have to pay, I'll keep my mouth shut. Jeff normally unflappable, very cool and calm, collected. Not this time. Let's see if it fires up his team. This is why he was so irate. A lot of contact, no foul call.
Here's Dragic, and he draws a foul on the 3 attempt from Ron Baker.
That's becoming so prevalent. And first of all, you should never foul the guy. He's a lefty going to his right trying to shoot a 3, which there's no way he's going to get that shot up accurately. But you see Harden does it all the time with Houston, duping guys into that same play to get to the line.
Hubie Brown certainly did not hold back his thoughts on the 3-point shot.
Right. See, watch this. There's no way he's shooting this shot going from that angle. Baker trying to get over the screen. So a smart play by Dragic. Not a good play by the Knicks.
And Hubie not a fan of the 3.
Yeah, old school all the way.
How about when Hubie came back to coach Memphis? He won the NBA Coach of the Year award twice, 26 years apart. He won it in 1978 with Atlanta, and then in 2004 with Memphis.
What a wealth of knowledge and memory. I could never remember the things that he recalled from those seasons.
From his days as an assistant coach in Milwaukee and head coach in Atlanta and with the Knicks, as Hernan Gomez is fouled by Dragic.
And little Brendan was hanging around most of the time.
Brendan was a Knicks ball boy at one point.
Yeah. He's got a lot of stories when we talk to him. We still have a trip to Memphis, Kenny. I'm going to hang out with him that night. I'm sure he's big in Memphis.
He was on Hubie's staff with the Grizzlies as a scout and an assistant coach.
Yeah.
Also spent some time on the staff at Wake Forest University. And does a terrific job, as we mentioned, on Nick Radio with Mike Crispino.
And giving us our scouting reports on the opposition.
Still thinks like a coach.
Yeah.
And sees the game as a coach does.
And like you, Kenny, a good dad. She's got the little kid now. What's her name? What's she, 3 or 4 years old, I think? She's been to Clyde's Wine and Diner. Sydney's been coming.
Oh, yeah. She's been there a couple of times.
3 years old now, just had her birthday. And she must be an Aries, Kenny, so she has to be a good person. All the Aries are coming out now.
No basket. Brendan and his wife Kate. And young Sydney, Iva Sydney as well, who's also been to Clyde's Wine and Dine.
I remember the first time you told me about your daughter, I was in the place eating, and you said, "Why?" My daughter said, "There's Walt Frazier."
Other side, KP.
Live and in living color. And now Porzingis is fouled.
Kind of a lull in the action right now. Guys showing a little fatigue, playing defense with their hands and not their feet. or their heads right now as the Knicks have it along the sideline.
12-point lead for Miami. Here's Baker. It's good on the foul.
Watch the little skip step that Baker makes after the contact. But right there, they give him the continuation. There's the knee by Whiteside. I don't know why he's complaining. Definitely an aggressive play, continuation. That sends Whiteside to the bench. Baker to the line for one.
Whiteside with 4 personal fouls.
See if the Knicks can capitalize. When the cat's away with a nice play.
Whiteside to the bench. Knicks have pulled to within 9, 61-52. Richardson directing traffic, throws it away. He was looking for Willie Reed.
Yeah, too much English on that pass by Richardson. We've seen some careless passes by the Heat. Johnson flinging the left-hander inside. That took him to the bench. Now Richardson an errant pass.
That was the 9th Heat turnover.
Both teams average 14 turnovers a game, right at the league's average.
Carmelo in and out. Hernan Gomez with a couple of taps at it. Knicks keep it alive.
Baker doing a good job.
Courtney Lee pulls the Knicks to within 7. And Eric Spoelstra wants to talk things over. Back at the Garden with the Heat leading the Knicks by 7. Great seats still available for the games here at the Garden against the Celtics on April 2nd and the Bulls on April 4th. Get your seats today at Knicks.com, your official site for Knicks tickets. 7 regular season games remaining following this one. A look at our KFC bucket chart. Josh Richardson leading the way for the Heat, Clyde, with 14 points.
Yeah, only averaging 9 on the season, so he's had 2 or 3. You can see the 2 3 balls he's had, and then look there, thriving in the paint area as well. He's 6'6", out of Tennessee, like our Bernard King and Allen Houston.
And Ernie Grunfeld, who we saw earlier during the 83-84 video, the Bernie and Ernie show at Tennessee.
That was a good one.
Knicks have scored the last 7 points to pull to within 7. Here's Magruder. His shot was short, rebounded by Courtney Lee.
Mentioned Whiteside out of the game. Knicks getting 2nd and 3rd opportunities on that last possession.
Baker guarded by Dragic. Shot clock is at 7. Hernan Gomez spinning on Reed.
Whoa. Dragic had a fine game. 8 assists. Give him 1 more. Huh? Reed misfired, fouled by Baker, so he's at the line. We've seen this all season. Knicks can't deny forays by the opposition. So once you get into the paint, that domino effect starts to happen. Guys coming open, so Reed the recipient this time.
Willie Reed, who made his NBA debut here at the Garden with the Nets last season. James Johnson checks in for Miami, replacing Rodney Magruder.
Where's Reed play, Kenny? Where's he alma mater?
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Remember Larry Hughes, former Knick? He played for St. Louis University.
The Billikens used to have a good team when I was in college. St. Louis Billikens. Washington U also in St. Louis. Used to play against them.
Washington U, now a Division III school. They're in the UAA, same conference as NYU here in New York.
Right. The academics got to them.
Brandeis, Emory, University of Chicago, Johns Hopkins is in that conference.
Yep, couldn't get players after a while. The books. So let's see what KP got now. He's at the line for 2. I think KP's gotten thinner as the season wore on, Kenny. I think that's why his strength was lacking. He seems to be thinner now than when the season began. Listed as 240, 7'3", 240.
This is his 64th game. He played in 72 as a rookie last year. Johnson lost the handle, but the Heat will maintain possession with 16 on the shot clock.
Johnson, former #1 pick by Chicago, never fulfilled his promise there. Good role player now for the Heat.
Spent many years in Toronto. He's a second-degree black belt. His father was a 7-time world kickboxing champ. And you've talked about the tough defense that he's played on Carmelo. It's coming this way, Clyde. Birthday present for you.
Another errant pass by Melo. Remember before we saw him throw one to Baker along the sideline. Just careless passing now by both teams.
Knicks 11th turnover. They trail the Heat by 6. 6.5 remaining in the third. Now Porzingis on Johnson. And nice move underneath by James Johnson.
Taking KP along the baseline in the left-handed hoop.
So the Heat now lead by 8. 64-56. Here's Courtney Lee on the runner. Porzingis skies in for the rebound. Anthony into the corner. Ron Baker from 3, kept alive by Hernan Gomez. Carmelo from straight away, in and out. Porzingis with the tap. And the foul is called. It's against Miami.
You see how the Knicks are dominating the paint now. I mentioned the Cats the way the Mice will play. Whiteside on the bench. Knicks getting second, third, fourth opportunities. KP creating havoc, so an encore for him at the line.
Babbitt was called for his third. So Porzingis back to the line.
76% free throw shooter.
Saturday night, Red Bull Soccer is back on MSG as they take on Houston. Coverage starts at 8 with Red Bull's Game Night, presented by Tri-State Honda. Then at 8:30, Red Bulls and Houston Saturday on MSG. Knicks back to within 6. Porzingis hit both free throws.
Johnson previously hooping along the baseline. Take away his left hand.
Dragic defended by Baker.
Yep, good job taking away the left hand.
Dragic up with the left hand and he hits.
See, that should never happen. No help coming. Someone should be coming to help. Can't just allow a guy to manipulate like that into the paint.
8-point Miami lead as Baker finds Hernan Gomez. Anthony. Carmelo with his third field goal. He has 7 points here in the third quarter. He was scoreless in the first half of the game, Clyde, for the first time since 2012.
Yep, only attempted 2 shots.
There's Reed, takes it inside. Willie Reed with his first field goal. Under 5 to play, third quarter from the Garden. Porzingis looking to draw the foul against the roll.
Richardson hacking and whacking him all the way. No foul call.
So Porzingis now with 11. He's the first Knick in double figures tonight. Dragic rebounded by Anthony.
Good job by the Knicks not fouling Dragic that time. Especially Baker. Melo looking to get untracked.
Puts up a 3. Dragic the rebound.
Dragic might have a triple-double tonight. He has 5 bounds, 9 assists, 15 points.
Foul committed by Lee.
Ghastly foul by Lee. Shot clock winding down. Guy behind the basket from the corner. And he fouls him.
That's Lee's first personal foul.
So Johnson has been elusive off the dribble. This time along the baseline, so he's shooting 2. I think these guys with the tattoos can have a lot of time on their hand. I don't know how long that takes to get your body tattooed. It's supposed to be painful as well.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. And obviously hard to take off. If you ever try to want to get them off.
Johnson hitting 1 of 2, so the Heat lead is 7.
Yeah, the largest lead has been 8. Johnson, good job with the steal.
Here comes Dragic. Holiday back. Goes behind the back for Tyler Johnson.
Too long.
Johnson looks to keep it alive. He does. Here is Dragic from 3. Holiday the rebound.
Yeah, KP did a good job that time harassing Dragic, especially in transition.
Holiday for Hernan Gomez. And the foul.
That's the oldest play in basketball, folks. Hernan Gomez, that's one of his fortes, the pick and roll. Does an excellent job. Holiday dishes. And Hernan Gomez can finish with either hand, left or the right hand. This time the right. And he'll go to the line for 1 as well.
Three for 3 from the line tonight.
This guy's putting up amazing numbers, Hernan Gomez.
Well, Jeff Hornacek said the other day when asked about Hernan Gomez, the expectation at the start of the season was that he would spend a lot of time in the D-League this year, but that has not been the case.
No, if he tighten up his defense, man, he's going to be a very valuable Knick.
Here is White hitting a 3. Okoro White, the rookie out of Florida State. Miami back up by 7. Kuzminskis in the game for the Knicks. Knicks have 3 rookies on the court. Hernan Gomez looking for Porzingis, and it's broken up by Richardson.
Yeah, he's a terrible passer, Hernan Gomez. Very careless passer.
There's Johnson. Knicks back the other way. Baker found a lane. And it was rejected by Richardson.
Yeah, Richardson 6'6". His forte is defense. Doing an excellent job there.
With the great Bernard King here at the Garden tonight.
Yeah.
Who will be a part of tonight's Delta race.
And the captain of the Knicks, number 30, Bernard King.
Think you can defend me?
Bernard King. Unbelievable. What a shot.
I don't think so.
Bernard King unstoppable tonight. San Antonio's going to have more trouble than they can handle with Bernard King.
I shall not be denied.
They'll go to Bernard King, and he'll stuff it for his 50th point of the game. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, is history.
I'm there. I'm there at this very moment. I can picture it.
This could be a repeat of last night.
I thought it was 50. I'm not going to miss this shot.
Bernard looking for 50, and he's got it. Back-to-back 50-point games for Bernard King.
Welcome down to the sideline, everybody. I've got Bernard King, because, of course, it's fitting to chat with him. So we just took a look at the highlights from your back-to-back 50s. I mean, that was incredible. What do you remember about those couple of games?
Well, obviously, the first game was in San Antonio against the great George Gervin, and I really enjoyed that. I was fortunate enough to score 50 points in that game. And then I did the same thing the second game against Dallas. I had a vanilla milkshake in the afternoon and a turkey sandwich with Rebecca, and it worked, because I was able to score out and score 50 points in that ball game as well. But more importantly, we won both games, but it hadn't been done in 30 years, so I really felt great about that.
I love that ice cream was the key to one of the greatest moments in basketball history. But one thing I've heard, Rory Sparrow had the ball dribbling around a little bit. You had 48 points at the time. People were screaming to get you the ball. I mean, were you thinking, dude, pass it over?
You know, it's interesting because all my teammates were up on the bench yelling for Rory to give me the ball, and I was unaware that I had 48, but I figured I had to be close. And so finally Rory brought the ball over. I drove left, and I remember Jay Vincent defending me, and I went up and I said, I'm not going to miss this shot, Rebecca. I have to make a quick mention. October 17th, my memoir is coming out. You have to check that out. It's going to be rather interesting. My co-author, Jerome Priestler, has written 9 New York Times #1 bestsellers. October 17th.
All right, we're going to have to come back on with us next season for sure. We can talk about that. But before we let you go, we have to talk about the Detroit series as well. Such an amazing, physical, exciting series. What memories stand out about that run?
Well, that was very special. Hubie Brown was our coach at the time, and we forced a 5th game in Detroit, and so we knew we were going to have our hands full. There was no air conditioning. It was about 105 degrees in the arena. I was playing with 2 dislocated fingers, and I had the flu. Did not participate in the shoot-around that afternoon, Rebecca. But as the captain and the leader of the ball club, I had to go out and produce. And the game on the line, I was able to score a basket, and we ultimately won.
So exciting, and so exciting to have you here tonight. Thank you for joining us.
It's always great to be at the Garden. This is my second home.
Me too, guys.
All right, thanks, Rebecca. Always great to hear from and see Bernard King here at the Garden, Clyde. So I guess a milkshake and a turkey sandwich, that was the key. As we check out some of the numbers from Bernard's career, our DraftKings of the Night spotlight, the back-to-back 50-point games in late January, early February 1984. Averaged just under 35 in the 12 playoff games that year. Played one-day fantasy basketball on DraftKings.com, the official one-day fantasy partner of the New York Knicks.
Yeah, extraordinary score with Bernard King, very prolific.
Time winding down here in the third. Hernan Gomez puts up a 3. So the Miami Heat with a 77-68 lead over the Knicks after 3 quarters here at Madison Square Garden as the Knicks honor the 83-84 squad coached by Hubie.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Oh, damn. Tension just starts to grow as I spin it in my bloomer show. Baby, come on and give it to me. Don't want it, baby, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. When I feel your body up close to me, steaming up and you feel the friction. When I hold my hips, baby, bring me please. Can't stand the heat coming from the kitchen. Turn you on like home free, baby. Rev me up in a tight key. Normally I'd like to tease, but baby tonight, swing with me. Swing with me, baby. 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 Swing, swing with me, swing with me. Swing with me, baby. Rhythm's got me crazy. Shake it for me, honey. Work it like you want me. Bass is the flow and the room vibrating straight through my hips and I start gyrating. Swing with me, baby. Dance with me, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Knicks City Dancers.
Welcome back to New York Knicks basketball, presented by Chase from Madison Square Garden. Heat lead the Knicks by 9 as we get set for the fourth quarter. Our stars at the game brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. From left to right, Hubie Brown, Bill Cartwright, Rory Sparrow, Darrell Walker, and Bernard King. As the Knicks out of the 83-84 Knicks squad. Knicks start the fourth quarter with Jason Randall, Kyle O'Quinn, Courtney Lee, Justin Holiday, and Mindaugas Kuzminskas on the floor. Here's Johnson in for the slam. James Johnson with 17 points off the bench, tied for the team lead with Josh Richardson tonight.
That was like a dagger into the crowd. Johnson going along the baseline with this stuff.
Here's O'Quinn off the side of the rim. Whiteside with Dragic, Tyler Johnson, James Johnson, and White on the floor for Miami.
Let's take a look at Johnson, 6'7", elusive, abusive, gets into the paint, master blaster. Now he comes back to the left side and able to score, to draw a foul, so he's at the line shooting 2.
All committed by Kuzminskis, his first. Check out MSGNetworks.com/CheapOair for this week's In Case You Missed It. Maurice Endor has checked in for the Knicks. Kuzminskis sits down.
Yeah, Kuz defense wasn't up to par on Johnson. So Endor, let's see if he can put some chilling on Johnson's thrilling.
Knicks now with Endor, Quinn, Holiday, Lee, and Randall. Here's Lee. Kept alive by Endor, and then blocked by Johnson.
Endor never squared up to the hoop. Got to try to use glass when you're that close, but he had a poor angle to do so.
Here's Tyler Johnson in for the left-handed slam.
They're jamming. Much to the delight of their bench now.
So the Heat up by 14. This matches their biggest lead, and then Jason Randall answers at the other end.
Both teams are vulnerable in the paint. Especially the Knicks slicing and dicing them. Whiteside has a mismatch.
Guarded by Lee. Whiteside puts it up and hits. Heat back up by 14.
Knicks are running a triangle. They've been focusing on doing more triangle.
Randall from 3. Whiteside the rebound.
Sometimes I think when they do that, they're too methodical. The spontaneity is not there because they're trying to think rather than react on the offense. But right now their problem is on this end of the floor. Can't get a stop.
Here's White, and he is whistled for the offensive foul.
Yeah, Randall sacrificing his body that time. Good job on the D. Watch Randall's good job there, reading the mind of White, so the Knicks will bring it up. Spoelstra.
Here's Lee, kept alive by O'Quinn, and it's rejected by Whiteside.
Yeah, he averages 2 a game among the leaders. Quinn's got to use the head fake trying to get that move off.
Tyler Johnson from 3, in and out, kept alive and put back by White. And Jeff Hornacek calls timeout.
Yeah, the Knicks looking, the Heat cooking now. Second opportunity. Watch Whiteside. O'Quinn goes straight up to no avail. Defense can be your best offense.
Fourth quarter at the Garden with the Heat leading the Knicks by 16. As the Knicks honor the 83-84 Knicks squad. Rory Sparrow, always a fan favorite, Clyde, during his Knicks career out of Madison, New Jersey, and Villanova University. Sparrow setting up Trent Tucker there. Rory is with Rebecca.
Over here with Rory, who's getting lots of love from Knicks fans all over this arena. But I want to talk about how how you arrived in New York. You were traded from the Hawks back in 1983. What was your impression of the Knicks when you were traded in that moment?
Well, you know, I was just glad to be coming back to New York. I'm from Madison, New Jersey, and so I've been growing up and watching the Knicks. To get an opportunity to come back and play at home was a very exciting thing. And I'd heard that Hubie Brown was a very good but stern coach. I was interested in finding out what that experience was going to be like.
And what was it like?
He was good and stern. Hubie is a very good tactician, understands the game better than most, taught me a lot. And his people skills were things he developed later on.
So it was about a year later that this team went on an amazing playoff run. What do you remember about that playoff run?
Well, you know, one of the things that we had talked about earlier is that we had simple goals: just win 2 out of 3, win 3 out of 5. And so it allowed us just to focus on the now instead of looking further ahead. And then the other thing is the great teammates: Billy Cartwright, Bernard King, Chuck Robinson, Darryl Walker, Trent Tucker. I mean, guys are just really quality guys. And the fact that we played 2 sets of teams, 10 players every night, which it doesn't happen in today's game.
Well, congrats to that team. It's an honor to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you. Enjoy it.
Kenny.
Thanks, Rebecca. Claude, what do you remember about Rory Sparrow's Knick career?
Very solid point guard, looking to dish before he looks to switch. Good defensive player. So very consistent in the backcourt.
Carmelo now with 9 points, all here in the second half.
But the Knick D has been exploited by the Heat. They continue to slam and jam.
Here's Dragic, and he draws the foul on the 3.
Previously, remember, he did that against Baker, going to his left, this time going to his right against Randall. Baffling, befuddling the Knicks as he goes to the line. I mentioned Dragic close to a triple-double tonight. 7 bounds, 9 assists, 15 points, and looking for more.
Dragic from Slovenia, as is the Knicks' Sasha Vujicic.
Oh, yeah? Slovenia, where is that now exactly? What is... I thought Sasha was Italian.
Perhaps you'll arrange a visit?
Well, I heard Croatia was nice because I like sailing. They told me that's beautiful over there. Cruise around.
Dragic hits all 3. Slovenia in Central Europe, Clyde, known for its mountains, ski resorts, and lakes.
Okay. Sounds pretty over there. Sasha's the guy with the personality, man. He keeps everybody together. All the foreign players.
Right, he's been a great mentor for the Knicks. European players. Spent so much time with Porzingis last year.
Knicks 8-second violation on the Knicks. You rarely see that during the season. 8-second getting the ball up. They were too slow.
Sasha won a couple of championships with the Lakers. Always has a big smile on his face, talking to everybody.
Very gregarious guy. The crowd is chanting something out here.
Porzingis with the slam. Are they chanting happy birthday to you?
No, I don't think so.
We'll have to let them know. Ball knocked out by Porzingis.
Obviously, the crowd very angry the way the Knicks have performed tonight, especially on the defense. Very porous defense. There's the frustration on his face. Now the Heat like to talk it over.
With 6:16 remaining from the Garden. And the Heat leading the Knicks by 17. Back at Madison Square Garden with the Knicks trailing the Miami Heat 91-74. Pass down your passion for the Knicks. Sign them up for the Junior Knicks. Membership is free, and your child will receive exclusive benefits, including invitations to select Knicks events, access to Knicks tickets, a membership card, monthly newsletter, and much more. Sign up for free at Knicks.com/junior. Tonight's player matchup brought to you by Lexus, the official luxury vehicle of the Knicks. Hassan Whiteside, after the slow start with 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 block shots. Billy Hernan-Gomez, 12 points, 9 rebounds for the Knicks.
Whiteside, a good screen there on Baker, rolls to the hoop. Richardson has 3 balls. Misfiring on that one.
Carmelo Anthony back on the floor for the Knicks with Porzingis, Holiday, Lee, and Baker. Under 6 minutes remaining from the Garden. Here's Lee, found a lane. Courtney Lee.
Lee has been better at creating off the dribble. She looked to do that more. Good penetration that time.
Lee now with 10. Heat lead by 15.
Heat becoming very methodical now, using time off the shot clock.
Dragic off the hesitation.
Yep, you let him go left, he's going to kill you. He continues to beat them off the dribble to the left side.
20 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists for Goran Dragic.
20 points right in this season's average, averaging 6 assists.
The tap by Porzingis after the Baker miss.
Exquisite timing that time by KP. But Kenny, can you believe the jinx the Knicks have trying to win 2 consecutive games? It's been almost just before Christmas.
Right. December 20th and 22nd. Last time the Knicks won 2 straight games.
That's hard to believe.
You are watching the Foxwoods Final 5. Here's Lee, back out. Ron Baker from 3.
Crowd moaning and groaning now with the Knicks' utility on the offense.
Yeah, Baker's had a tough night. He's 2 for 12. Started for the injured Derrick Rose tonight. Here's Dragic from 3. Kept alive by Ellington.
Yeah, good hustle by Ellington. Deep rebounds. The guards must come up with those deep rebounds.
The Knicks are out rebounding the Heat, Clyde, 46-39, as the foul is committed by Porzingis. The Johnsons, James and Tyler check in. Remember Tyler Johnson, he was not drafted. He was signed to a couple of 10-day contracts by the Heat 2 seasons ago. Then the Brooklyn Nets signed him to a huge offer sheet. It shocked just about everybody. And the Heat matched.
Yep. Same thing with Crabbe with Portland.
Right.
Signed him. He got a big deal as well.
Ellington hits another 3.
Running and stunning the Knicks that time right in front of their bench.
So Ellington last season, Clyde, won the Walter Kennedy Citizenship Award, which is awarded to 1 NBA player per season. Porzingis with the slam. I was looking back at some past winners. Rory Sparrow won it back in '85-86.
Yeah, that's why he's in the NBA office now. One of the good guys, Rory.
I remember his playing days. He always had a lot of family members. Grew up in New Jersey.
Yep.
A lot of family members at the games.
Excellent talking to the kids at the camps.
There's Holiday bottled up by Johnson. We've been talking about Johnson's defense ever since he checked in for the first time tonight.
Yeah, he's a tough defender. Really hounds the ball. He's had a splendid game tonight.
There's Rory. Mike Saunders, screen right to his left. Under 3 to play from the Garden. Our game summary is brought to you by Hyundai, with the Heat leading the Knicks 99-80. Heat with 12 three-point field goals. Dragic, 20 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, close to a triple-double. How about Russell Westbrook tonight, Clyde? His 38th triple-double of the season, 3 shy of Oscar Robertson's all-time record. 55 points tonight against the Magic. It's the most points ever scored in a triple-double in NBA history. Game still in progress. He has 55 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists.
Yeah, that's making a statement for the MVP as we wind down the season.
Who would get your vote?
I'm with Westbrook. I think he's deserved it. Not only is he having extraordinary numbers, his team is winning. Primarily because of him.
Marshall Plumlee has checked in for the Knicks. Here's Ellington. Plumlee, Baker, and Endor all on the floor. All 3 of them played last night, Clyde, for the Westchester Knicks. The Knicks D-League affiliate, a 3-point win over Canton. Jason Randall had 23 points, 10 rebounds. Plumlee had 10 and 10, and Endor had 18 points and 6 rebounds.
Yeah, that's the proximity of why the teams want to be close, so they can have these guys work there and then also play in the real games. So now the Knicks turnovers again hurting them, allowing Johnson to get in transition, so he's at the line looking for one more.
Rodney McGruder back in the game for Miami. The foul was committed by Sasha Vujacic, who just checked in.
And we mentioned the Heat short of manpower tonight. Kenny, who's out? Waiters.
Right, they've gone 10 deep. No Waiters, no Justice Winslow, no Josh McRoberts.
And those are 3 valuable starters, the players that are in the rotation.
And Chris Bosh still on their 15-man roster.
All right, and they've come in here and pulverized the Knicks tonight.
On Clyde's birthday, as Vujacic puts it up. We did some research, Clyde. You played 4 times on your birthday. 3 of them were playoff games because the regular season used to end in March. So the first 3 games on your birthday were against the Bullets. 69 playoffs, 70, and again in 74. You scored 23, 24, and 20 on your birthday in the playoffs for the Knicks.
I didn't go out those nights, Ken. Not playing Earl DeFurl. I stayed in.
Saved it for the next night. And then the only time you ever played a regular season game on your birthday was in 77. So that was 40 years ago tonight, on your 32nd birthday in Kansas City.
Whoa.
You only scored 6 that night.
I was feeling it.
Maybe you went out the night before. That was only a regular season game. The Heat continue to pour it on here in the 4th quarter. You are watching the Foxwoods Final 5.
But it is uncanny, folks, how loyal the Knicks fans have been this season. 3/4 of the people are still here. The Knicks getting pounded, but they remain to watch the end of the game.
It was a close game at the half. Heat led by 8.
Now a serenade from the crowd. Let's go Heat.
Well, some of the fans at this point would like more ping pong balls. Randall was tripped up. After the game, stay tuned for the Ford Knicks postgame. Join Al Krautwig, Alan Hahn, and Wally Zerbiak for highlights, reaction from the players and coaches, and more. The Ford postgame coming up on MSG. These teams will do it again Friday in Miami.
Yep, the Knicks will be looking to redeem themselves. Embarrassing loss tonight.
The Heat continue to battle for playoff position. Currently in 8th place in the East. Vujacic. Sasha with 5 points off the bench.
Sasha, the games that he does not play in, right after they leave the locker room, he comes out here and starts shooting, folks.
Right.
Working out.
And he stays out there for a long time. Here's White. Carl White, who was born in Brooklyn before moving to Florida. So this will officially eliminate the Knicks from playoff contention, Clyde, as they will drop to 28-47. Big win for the Heat, as they will go to 37-38. As Endure hits, and he will head to the line.
Yeah, just a very disappointing season all around for the Knicks. They had such high hopes, the optimism about the roster was set, had stars abound. Melo, KP, Rose, good backups, bringing in Lee. It just never happened. The first unit lacked chemistry and the poorest defense throughout the season.
After the 14-10 start. So the Heat, after their one-point win in Detroit last night, come into Madison Square Garden and defeat the Knicks 105-88. So another big win for Eric Spoelstra's club. Knicks and Heat will do it again in Miami on Friday night. Kristaps Porzingis led the way for the Knicks with 20 points, 8 rebounds, with a big second half for Miami, and they win it here at the Garden.